Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Tharp. That's me in the little bubble on the bottom right. And this is my Prezi presentation of the practical assignment. Prezi is a free application I've seen other students use, so I thought I'd give it a try. If you would like to enable closed captioning for this video, please click the icon in the lower right part of the playback bar. All right, project introduction. For my project, I chose to interview a general education teacher and a special education teacher. My endorsement is in secondary social studies, so I wanted to hear from middle and high school teachers about their experiences with exceptional students. The general education teacher I interviewed is Mr. Bird, a teacher of radio history in Spotsylvania County. We met in February when I was assigned to his class for my practicum experience. Mr. Bird has been teaching 27 years after leaving his first career, which I will talk more about in a moment. The special education teacher I asked to sit down with me is she is a middle school special ed teacher with her own self-contained classroom. This was her first year in the Fredericksburg City Schools, but she has previously taught in a high school and an alternative school. Lastly, I'd like to mention that I have changed the names of both teachers in order to respect their privacy. Before we move on, here are the key points. And these are the main takeaways from my experience, which I will explore more fully in this presentation. Number one, teachers should know what is motivating them to teach. Number two, technology is helpful in the classroom and a key to involving parents. And three, administrators can provide great support, but remind students to advocate for themselves too. Motivations. Neither Mr. Bird nor Mrs. Ramos became teachers at first, but they share the same motivation. Mr. Bird had earned 2 degrees in international affairs before seeing the movie Dead Poet Society and deciding to become a teacher. Mrs. Ramos had been applying for physical therapy school when she changed her mind and turned towards special ed. Both teachers said that helping others was part of their decision. One of the most challenging aspects of education is special education, is the often slow pace of progress. The desire to help is certainly necessary for teaching, as are qualities like perseverance and grit. Technology and parents. Mrs. Ramos seems to enjoy the classroom more than Mr. Bird. She enjoys using the active board and has tried websites like ClassDojo for behavioral management. She and Mr. Bird integrated videos and internet sources into instruction. During my lesson with Mr. Bird's students, I administered a quiz with the online program Kahoot, which students answer using their phones. Technology is also an excellent vehicle for involving parents. Mr. Bird keeps a class website updated with assignment videos and dates for students and parents to view. He and Mrs. Ramos mentioned their primary means to communicate with parents is through email. Before leaving school each afternoon, Mr. Bird responds to all of his emails from parents. Mrs. Ramos expressed that she enjoys the speed and ease of email to keep in contact with parents, but admitted that many parents are not involved. As we learned during our discussions in class of parents and families, exceptional students meet with various professionals, and teachers ultimately have to meet the communication level that parents establish. I asked both Mr. Bird and Mrs. Ramos how they felt about the support given to them by administrators and fellow teachers. Both teachers responded positively, but Mr. Bird expressed a desire to have more direct feedback from administrators. Mr. Bird also mentioned how infrequently special educators reach out to him regarding students of his with exceptionalities. This highlights the need for students as they reach high school to advocate for themselves. Mr. Bird has 150 students, but is more than willing to make accommodations for those few that need them. Practicing self-advocacy in high school prepares students for college and careers. Lastly, my conclusion. There were points in this class that I felt it wasn't quite serving my needs as a pre-service secondary social studies teacher. But this assignment showed me how actual teachers work with parents and accommodate instruction, and that gave me an idea of what I will face in my own classroom. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you so much, and I look forward to your comments.